close your eyes.
It's Throwback Night in SMB. The Lady in Black plays host to Round 10, and it is going to be a fun one tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Pete Ruzick for SMB's Cup Series presented by WoodyxCA. Pete, how are you tonight?
Eliza, I'm doing absolutely well. Cannot wait. The Lady in Black, track too tough to tame, whatever you want to call it. Darlington, South Carolina is on the ticket for tonight. It's going to be a full field, and I'm just watching lap after lap. These guys absolutely trying to get on down there, trying to figure out exactly how best to control their cars. It's been an action-filled practice. Cannot wait for this green to get put out there, in just a few minutes. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for the throwbacks. I mean, these guys really understood the assignment, brought in fantastic looking throwbacks. So I'm excited to show all of these tonight. And I can tell you that tonight we're going to be earning some Darlington stripes. It's loose at the start. It's tight once you get into a run. It's going to be a wild one, but I think a fun one. And I'm excited to show off these paints, Pete. I'm telling you.
Yeah, 34 drivers so far, with a couple more that usually come in during qualifying. And yeah, like you said, last week you sent out the message, hey, it's Darlington, let's get those throwbacks going. And yeah, they really did hit the nail right on the head as we're going into qualifying. It's going to be a lot of fun to show off the schemes that these guys came up with over the last week to really show NASCAR's history.
I agree. We're going to get in here for qualifying, and you're going to see these throwbacks for the drivers that sent me in their cars early enough for me to get these made. You're going to see those throwbacks on your right-hand side of the screen, and it'll show you the driver and what throwback they are throwing back to. But these guys are starting to get out on track for their fast lap. We'll see what they can do. Here's Tom Flitty. He is out here in a Dale Jr. scheme, looking good in that number 8 machine. We'll see what kind of lap he does here, but I think we're going to see a lot of guys shifting down for these corners, Pete. You really just have to get it woed down in order to make that entry and not hit that wall.
Yeah, that is an amazing looking Budweiser car for Tom Flitcroft. Tom, he's been an Earnhardt fan for as long as I've known him. And as far as shifting, you're 100% right. These corners very, very different. It is the literal egg-shaped track here at Darlington. and those stripes, they will be plentiful.
They will be indeed. Here's Rivers Jones. You see him out there in that 91 machine, and that's going to be Bill Elliott's 2005 Stanley paint scheme. He ran part-time for Ray Everhand.
Absolutely beautiful. The other driver I think about when I see those colors, Carl Edwards, which would have been a great throwback as well.
So true, so true. You got Andrew Wisdom in that 51 car, and I know he sent me a throwback, but for some reason I am not seeing that, and Pete and I were talking about that before the stream here, but so far, Matthew O'Brien on top of the board, and I can tell you that these drivers were already congratulating O'Brien before the race even started, said, this guy knows how to race here. Congratulations on your win.
Yeah, Matt O'Brien, he actually sent out a tweet earlier saying, I've been waiting for this race all season. Liza, I don't think he's running the Kings colors for throwback weekend. He runs these colors very consistently, but it's great to see him here at Darlington.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Let me know what is your favorite scheme out here. Mike, I see you. Snow Leopard, Maddie, hope you guys are doing well. Johnson was so good in that car. I mean, yeah, we got that Jimmy Johnson Lowe's car in that 48 machine looking so good. We'll see Francis Hamilton. Yeah, that's a whole DeWalt thing. So that's his scheme out there. But Jimmy Johnson, I'll have to go back and find that scheme. I know it is out there. Tell me, Pete, if you can find it. There's so many out here. It's just insane.
Nope, not Brody Fowler. Excuse me. Yep, I know I saw it earlier, just like you. And these guys are absolutely throwing me off, but that is okay. Let's see.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
Well, we will. We've got all night.
It's going to be Philip Bridgman in that 9 machine. I know I found it.
That's right. There we go.
All right, let's get on over the show there. Yeah, it's not even showing him right now, but Jose Ruiz and his scheme, Andrew Sanford, O'Brien still, he's out there on top of the speed charge, 28.84. Brody Fowler, we're still waiting for him to get his win. He's in second, 28.87. Tom Flitcroft on the board with a 28.91, sitting P3. Andrew Wisdom, he has several wins this season. In fact, he has 3 wins. He's in fourth with a 28.93. Glenn Austin, a 28.97.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Wisdom, he's been spending some time trying to build the throwback that he wanted, and something happened, maybe didn't load, whatever the case may be. But I said, yo, that's okay. The Busch car, it could be a throwback to Kevin Harvick. Why not?
Absolutely. You see Connor Cunningham out here for the remaining time of qualifying. Just under 5 minutes, so we have about 30 seconds left in qualifying. And it looks like all of these guys have made their lap. So our top 5 is going to be O'Brien on pole, Fowler, Flitcroft in third, Wisdom in fourth, Glenn Austin in fifth.
Yeah, actually seeing about what we got, about 7 or 8 cars that did not take a qualifying lap. Do you think they're anticipating a Darlington stripe very early and just staying in the back to avoid something big? Or they're just saying, you know what, Lady in Black does not suit my style. I don't need to be in the way of faster cars.
I absolutely think that these guys are just going to hang back, let the chaos happen in front of them. The thing is, though, is that when the chaos happens, there isn't a lot of places to go with this. So they are really going to have to watch out when they're in the back. So we'll see how they can maneuver around that. But we're getting ready to grid here. And let's get this thing going, Pete.
Absolutely. Bringing the grid up.
All right. Matthew O'Brien, he's going to be on pole for Nitro Motorsports, sitting P1. Brody Fowler is going to be on his outside. In row 2, we're going to have Tom Flitcroft in that 8 machine with Andrew Wisdom on the outside. And in row 3, we're going to have Jackson Glenn Austin with Thomas Harmon on the outside. For P7, we're going to have Jeff Byers with John Honeycutt on his outside. And in row 5, we're going to have Steven Maggio in 19th in that 19 machine with Joseph Turley in the 97.
There you go. Riley Rosenbrook in that 86, sitting P11. And to round out the top 12, we got Jose Ruiz in that U.S. Air Force Team FTR number 23, sitting P12. P13, talking about the one and only Jimmy Cocker in that 11, sitting 13th. 14th, Luke Allen in the 7. Micah Allard in the 61 with Jordan McGraw to his outside in that 34 to round out row number 8. Row 9 looks like Francis Hamilton in that 48 with Justin Anasagok in the 47. Rivers Jones in the 91 sitting 19th, and to his outside, Jacob Locklear in the 84.
In row 11, we have Matthew Gale with Matt Burgess to his outside. In P23, we have Jacob Palmer with Jeff No to his outside. And in 25th, we have Andrew Sanford in that 37 car with Jarrett Cardwell on the outside. P27 is going to be Dylan C. Robb in the 03 machine with Philip Bridgman in the 9 machine on his outside. And in 29th, we have Hunter Johnson in the 99 car with PJ O'Leary in that 24 machine. And go ahead and finish it off, Pete.
Yeah, rounding out the field, we got Connor Cunningham in that 3, sitting 31st, with Mike Campbell Jr., old Papa Bear, rocking the 71, sitting 32nd. 33rd is going to be, Austin Mitty, newcomer, in that double deuce, sitting 33rd, with Chuck Cody sitting 34th in the 31, and Kevin Dallator in the 92, 35th. So 35 Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series cars, rumbling, getting loud here at Darlington. Eliza, this is going to be a great race. Looks like the sun is setting. Will we see a transition race, or is this all going to happen under day?
I think this is all going to be under the daylight, so we'll see how these guys can maneuver around. It's around 87 degrees when we were in practice, so it should start to cool off, but not by much. It's going to start off slick, and then we're going to go too tight. So these guys will have to be paired for how that will handle.
Yeah, like you said, very, very great weather. There we go. Great weather for the race this evening. 89-degree track, 86-degree air, very, very little breeze. Track time right now is 7:03 p.m. and right on the spot, May the 5th. So, Eliza, high side in 1 and 2 or high side in 3 and 4 for you?
I'm going high side in 1 and 2, and we are green here at Darlington Raceway, and Matthew O'Brien with a nice start. Brody Falliker on that outside. And what you want to kind of do is diamond that first and second turn. You're going to start off on the bottom, let it roll up to the top, and you see Matthew O'Brien bringing it back down and then back out on exit. In turn 3 and 4, you're just going to want to ride that low line, at least to start off with, until you get the handling, and then we might see these cars kind of maneuver around the track, but that's how I'm starting off, Pete.
Yeah, very much a one-groove racetrack at best. I mean, you can get a little low in here if you're great with using the brakes at Darlington. Other than that, we're going to see a lot of high-line racing, and talk about high-line racing, got a battle for the lead right now.
We sure do. Brody Falliker is really putting the pressure on Matthew O'Brien, kind of sneaking in on that downside, and he gets a huge run and goes straight to first place. That is going to put him in the lead with Matthew O'Brien in second. Andrew Wisdom is going to be in third, but Brody Falliker, he's going to that lead, and take a look at that gap.
Absolutely. Now, I say it every week. Now he just kind of needs to get into race management mode. You don't have to get away by, second upon second. But Brody Falliker in that Mac the Knife car just slashed his way through to the lead. I did it.
You can just see the single file line. It is just so extremely hard to pass out here. You really have to see if the car in front of you is either going to mess up and you can take full advantage of it, or you have to get such a huge run like Brody Falliker, sweep in underneath, and try to take that run where you can get it. There is
you look at all the way back to like P20, P25 already. Everybody in one single line going all the way around this track. I mean, that track map is already all lit up.
Absolutely. There's a lot of movement going on in the back end here. Riley Rosenbrook, I don't know what happened to him, if he lagged out, but he is no longer in the session. Unfortunate to see, but you can see a battle here This is P22, Jacob Palmer, and he's got Andrew Sanford directly behind him. These guys already starting to separate towards the backbeat.
Yeah, Andrew Sanford, I'm going to guess Bobby Labonte, Quaker State, looks like Ford Mustang GT as Jacob Palmer loses one spot. Yeah, he's got the SciAps machine rocking tonight here at Darlington. Started 23rd and so far holding serve.
Yeah, Andrew Sanford, he is actually in the Robbie Gordon Throwback 2009 Quaker State.
All right.
Always fun to take a guess on what these guys are running. If you guys have any guesses out there, let me know what you think. Snow Leopard, he's all excited this race has started. 7 of 165. Brody Falliker still in the lead here. I'm still waiting for him to get that win. You and I know you are too, Pete, and we'll see how this goes. Still too early to tell, but he's looking strong.
Yeah, like we talked about last week, Eliza, you can only come in second so many times before that win or multiple wins in that season, come your way because you just flat out earned them. When you are as consistent as he is, no matter what style of track, the wins just come.
Interesting enough, Matt O'Brien, he started off on pole. He has since fallen down to P4. Andrew Wisdom has gone up to second. Tom Flitcroft in third. And Jackson Glenn Austin, a newer driver into Shake and Bake. He is out here every time he hits the track, Pete. He is so consistent, does a phenomenal job. He's out here P5.
Yeah, Jackson Glenn Austin in that number 21 Husky machine. Yeah, he is very, very consistent also. Right now sitting behind the King's number 43 Dollar Tree car for Matt O'Brien. I wonder if Matt got up there. He got passed by Brody Falliker, and he's just going to kind of ride now. He's not going to abuse what he's got. He wants to try to keep it out of the wall, maintain some kind of a steady pace, and then do his thing. But now the 21's under fire from Steve Maggio, brand new driver to Shake and Bake.
Yeah, brand new driver to Shake and Bake, and he is out here P6 already. Gained 3 spots from where he started. He's got a pretty high rating out here. So John Honeycutt sitting directly behind him. I can tell you, for a while, this will be a long train. There's just not a lot of places to go. It's Darlington, it's tight, and if you miss that corner entry or coming out and the exit, you are definitely earning your Darlington stripe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is like the epitome of race the racetrack. Don't worry about your competition. Your competition, if they mess up, you'll be there to capitalize on their mistakes. As it looks like 19 trying to get underneath the 21 right now, going into 3 and 4.
Too wide, a little bit of contact. The 21 going to go up higher. The 19 keeping it down low. Very, very clean between these guys as they go past the start-finish line into turn 1. Still too wide. The 19 decides, I'm going to back it off for now, and he gets back into line. This is going to be for P6 for these guys.
Yeah, John Honeycutt right behind them in his high-tech securities number 50 for Team FTR. I'm sure he was watching all that as they were side by side, and I was wondering which line is going to go. Is one of these guys going to make a mistake? Am I going to have to jam on the brakes if they do collect each other? What's going on? But still, that Jackson Glenn Austin in that 21, he's got that high side and he's got the momentum.
Yeah, he sure does. Tom's parents, what's up? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go back here a little bit further. P11. This is going to be Jimmy Cocker as he goes on the inside of Joseph Turley. He's got a little bit of a nose out, diving it in there. We'll see what he can do. The 97 gets into the wall. He's going to slide against it. I can tell you, Pete, once you get into that wall, it is extremely difficult to find your way off of it.
Yeah, Joe Turley, he actually sent out a message on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it nowadays, and said that he is running the Sharpie car that Kurt Busch ran in the year that he won the championship. Eliza, I'm hoping that this isn't some kind of a bad luck deal for the 97, but in that race for his championship at Homestead, I believe, didn't his front wheel come off trying to go down pit road or something?
Oh man, you were asking the wrong person. I do not remember what I did last week, to be honest, Pete. These guys getting so close with their racing, though, man. Looked like they were almost trying to go 3 wide. Since then, they have kind of thinned out a little bit. But man, oh man, these guys are on top of each other. Again, not a lot of places to go, but here's a view of Luke Allen and his very nice machine out here. That's for Robbie Gordon Singular Wireless 2000. And it's got his Mountain Dew scheme on top of that for the logo.
Yeah, looking pretty good. I don't know if I would have gotten Singular Wireless out of that, but I do remember that number 31. I think he was also, that year, he was one of the guys that ran a Looney Tunes car. He ran Pepe Le Pew on the hood of his machine. Talk about throwbacks, why not? And then right behind him, I want to say it's going to be a 47 Sunny D machine, maybe for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. or someone else, not 100% sure, but that's a nice looking car also.
That is nice. I'm liking that one. These guys all, like I said, they understood the assignment, came out here on point with these paint schemes. Then 99 machine, how about that? Making a run to the inside. That's going to be Hunter Johnson as he tries to make a pass, but that outside 47 is looking strong out there. That's going to be Justin. And man, every race that he has been to so far, he is a newer driver for SMB. He has been extremely strong. No difference here tonight.
No, not at all. Going back a little bit further, Jacob Locklear in that Team FTR number 84, just behind the 67 Auto Parts Napa car for Matt Gale. I was talking to a couple people during practice, and I couldn't figure out if that was the Martin Truex Jr. Car that he won with at Dover back when he drove for Michael Waltrip, or if that was a Michael Waltrip throwback. But either way, nice looking Napa know-how car right there also.
Absolutely. Lap 19 of 165. Very, very clean so far. Let's take a look back at our leader, Brody Falliker. Still out here in the lead. You can see he's got a little bit of gap between him and the rest of the field. Just over half a second over Andrew Wisdom. Tom Flitcroft not going to be too far behind. Just over a second behind Andrew Wisdom.
Looking at Polish Hammer's comment out there in chat, says, can confirm Pete is right. The wheel completely fell off. And then there's some more after that. But yeah, this one car, Brody Falliker, he's just bad fast. I mean, he's got a good half a second on Andrew Wisdom right now. And Andrew Wisdom out there in social media today, he was saying he didn't think he was going to be all that great. Well, so far, the guy's up 2 spots, and he's contending for yet another win, even though we're, less than a quarter of the way through.
If he gets a win tonight, I'm telling you, Andrew Wisdom, this will be his 4th win of the season. Next up for wins would be Hunter Johnson and James Holzer. So we have a couple out there with repeat wins. Nice to see. I'd love to see another new winner, and Brody Falliker, he looks like he could be a new winner tonight. The night is still young, though, Pete. I don't want to jinx him. You know how that goes. So I would hate to do that.
Davey Cocker in that number 11 Toyota TRD machine right now, sitting 9 as caution number 1 flies, but he's rocking Denny Hamlin's original 11.
See if we can find out what happened out here. It's like Matt Burgess involved, Joseph Turley. See if we can find out. Let's go back up here. 12, you can see, just gets into the left quarter panel of that 97 machine. Hard into the wall for Matt. Man, so unfortunate there. A couple other drivers affected. Hopefully not too much damage for them, but man, that's a tough one. Darlington, I'll tell you, it is extremely difficult to drive by yourself around this track, let alone 2 wide.
Yeah, 97 and 12, both trying to right their ship and grab a gear, get it up, get it going. So caution number 1 in the books. These guys were very, very singled out or single filed out. So everybody's going to come on down, grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, get a topping off, I guess you could say, of that Sunoco E15 fuel and work their way back out. So Eliza, we're going to go back green about lap 26, 27. Any surprises so far for you?
Any surprises? You know what? These guys are really good here. I'm surprised. You know, I raced here, and I can tell you I made it very friendly with almost every single lap. I mean, you have to really get that car woed down. A lot of these guys are shifting down into fourth. I consider it a definite must that you shift down here, but I'm going to say Brody Falliker, you know, I feel like he's just so consistent. I'm kind of surprised this is another track that he's so good at, but then again, I'm not surprised. Matthew O'Brien, I kind of figured he would be leading a lot more so far, so that is another surprise.
Well, yeah, how about this surprise? Andrew Wisdom, Tom Harmon, Matt O'Brien, and Jimmy Cocker coming out on just rights or lefts. All their times is 6.9 for Andrew Wisdom, 7.1 for Tom Harmon, 8.5 for Jimmy Cocker, and Brody Falliker with a 7.5 second stop also. So strategy early, got to make up the spots where you can.
Absolutely. And if you guys can, while we're under break, go ahead and give WoodyxCA, let me spell it correctly this time. Go ahead and click on this link, give him a follow. Click on that, give him a follow, come back over here, tune into the race. But he does NASCAR Heat, Call of Duty. He's a lot of fun to watch and hang out with. When you see him, tell him we sent you.
Yeah, Woody's a great guy. Definitely, lends a lot of time here to the Shake and Bake community, and has for several years, going back to console and now here on iRacing so far for the third season, with a pretty bright future ahead for this whole community.
Absolutely. All right, so Andrew Wisdom will be leading us back to green. Thomas Harmon in second, Matt O'Brien in third, Jimmy Cocker, another one taking advantage of some strategy, going to be P4, Brody Falliker in fifth, Tom Flitcroft in sixth, seventh is going to be Jackson Glenn Austin, eighth is Steve Maggio, ninth is John Honeycutt, and 10th is going to be Jose Ruiz.
Yeah, Philip Bridgman, the biggest mover tonight so far, up 17 spots in that number 9, sitting 11th. 12th, Rivers Jones. Francis Hamilton kind of just got passed by Jeff Byers, but he's fallen back through the field. I think he might have gone back down pit road. So Jeff Byers in that triple three, sitting 13th. Hunter Johnson, 14th. Justin Anasagak sitting P15. P16, going to be Luke Allen. 17th is going to be the 84 of Jacob Locklear. PJ O'Leary, 19th, and Jacob Palmer sitting P20.
All right, Andrew Wisdom. These guys lined up side by side. I think, Pete, at the start of this, we're going to see a little bit of aggression trying to get those places. It is just so extremely difficult to pass. This is the time where you have to do it on those restarts heading into turn 1. So I think we're going to see some aggression.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just like we saw when the one got around the 43, aggressive very early, get the lead. Clean air, clean air, clean air is king here around the Lady in Black. And I mean, to being 100% honest, around most of the tracks that NASCAR goes to all season long. But 51-68 about ready to jump on that loud pedal. 43 and 11, they'll be dueling it out right along with the 1 and the 8 right behind them. Everybody rack and stack back up. We're going green flag racing yet again. Let's go.
Here we go. A great start for Wisdom. You can hear him just really revving that engine, getting prepared for this restart, and that he definitely did. As we head into turn 1, you can see behind him the field as they go, but let's go on board with Andrew Wisdom and see how he runs his lap. You can see him going shortly into 5th gear and right back down to 4th to enter into turn 3 and 4. They're just going to hug that line, take it out wide down the front stretch, and do it all over again.
You know, what's interesting, Eliza, and a lot of guys and girls out there that may not know this, just arbitrarily switching from 4th to 5th and 5th to 4th, that actually takes skill. You can't just do that, because if you're carrying the wrong if you're on the brakes a little bit too much at the same time that you're downshifting, it'll actually get these cars wicked loose. Just that sudden jolt in RPM, and you could have a little bit of an issue. One guy that does have an issue right now is going to be Andrew Wisdom's teammate, Tom Harmon, getting challenged again by the 68. Matt O'Brien getting challenged by the 68 as Tom Harmon goes around him.
Yeah, Tom Harmon going around him. You can see he kind of dives in below the line there to try to get all the lane that he can as he tries to make it around. I've seen him do it multiple times. Very interesting. I'd be really scared late run that my car is going to lose it. But you can see Matthew O'Brien under attack once again, and that's going to be Steven Maggio in that 19 machine, and he's going to pass, take over P3. Matt O'Brien falls back to 4th. And he's got Jackson Glenn Austin directly behind him in that 21 car.
Yeah, Jackson Glenn Austin literally just kind of following the tire tracks of the 43 of Matt O'Brien. A spot or two, actually a car length or two behind them is going to be the 8 Tom Flitcroft, and they're side by side behind him between Hunter Johnson and Brody Paliker.
Side by side for Jackson and Matthew O'Brien, and Jackson is going to make the move. He goes underneath also. That is going to allow these guys to get the momentum that they need and the space that they need to make that corner.
Yeah, Jackson Glenn Austin completely opened the hole for the 8 of Tom Flitcroft to follow through. Here comes Brody Falker. He got underneath the 43. Now Hunter Johnson able to get on by. It just, the 43 can't stop the hemorrhaging of positions as now the 50 of John Honeycutt pulls side by side.
Yeah, take a look at how crowded this track is right now. Absolutely incredible. I knew that it was going to be a little more aggressive than what we saw previously, but man, oh man, these guys are really going for everything that they can. 3 wide down the backstretch. How about that? Man.
Boy, they might be taking this 3 wide on Jose Ruiz right behind the 11 of Jimmy Cocker. Jose right now, he's got the 91 and the 333, and back double file. Maybe wised up just a little bit going into 1 and 2.
Hunter Johnson, part of that 3 wide move past Jimmy Cocker and past a couple of others. You can see these guys going for every position that they can. They have to do it quickly. Those tires will wear out, so if you're gonna fight for position, you have to have a strategy. You have to have that plan involved so that you don't fight it over and over, lap after lap. Otherwise, you will find yourself absolutely demolishing those tires.
Talk about a guy that may be demolishing those tires or just could not wait to get to the front. Steve Maggio in that number 19 Mac Tonight McDonald's car just went around the outside of Andrew Wisdom to take the lead, and a 7/10 gap already.
Man, he's already gained 8 spots so far. Hunter Johnson is our biggest gainer of the night. He has gained 24 spots, if you recall. Obviously, he started in the back, but man, very impressed by these two. Steven, this is his first race in SMB, and I'll tell you what, I say this so far a lot this season, that these newcomers, I would be shy. I would be like, I don't want to make any waves or anything, but these guys are just like, let me at him. I'm not scared. And off he goes to the front.
You can't hold the competitive spirit back. When it comes to something that you enjoy doing, something that you're good at, you got to go. Talking about a guy that's got to go. Brody Falker just went shake and bake purple, posting a lap of 29:15, the fastest lap so far run this evening, right there on lap 35.
Very, very impressive. He is absolutely flying. This is man on a mission. You can see he's trying to make a move over Thomas Harmon, and I can tell you, I've raced with Thomas Harmon so many times. He is not an easy one to pass, but no problem for Brody Falker as he makes his way underneath and into the front of him and P5.
Yeah, Brody Falker, he's trying to make up spots that he lost after some took 2, but most took 4 under that caution. Eliza, I got to get it right tonight.
This race is quickly moving along here. It's pretty wild. You can see we're on board with Brody Falker. He's got that 51 machine of Andrew Wisdom directly in front of him. Hunter Johnson moves up to P3, but you can see him in 4th gear right here. He's going to go to 5th, and we'll see if he goes back down to 4th. Yeah, right back down to 4th. So you're only in 5th for just a second as he makes his way on by past Andrew Wisdom. Side by side, the battle is still brewing, still ongoing, and here we go. Brody Falker gonna go up to P4.
Yeah, Brody Falker, he's just, when he feels good about a race and he feels good about his car, it's almost like there's nothing that can stop this driver from Charleston, West Virginia. Very, very fast car yet again, and that's why he continues to move up the points as well week after week.
Absolutely. Steven still in the lead here. You can see the gap that goes between him and Hunter. And you know what I've noticed about Hunter is that, man, if there is a wall, he just pushes the limits in that car. And we're going to see him kind of flirt with that a couple of times. And I thought, yeah, he's got some stripes already, Darlington stripes on that pretty machine. But yeah, doing solid so far, making his way up 27 spots. Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely. Hunter, a driver in real life, runs, I believe it's mini trucks, if I'm not mistaken. But this guy, he's a wheelman both on and off the actual track.
Let's take a look at points while we're talking about it. Matthew O'Brien, he is leading the points and has been leading the points. He's got 298. Thomas Harmon in second with 288. Andrew Wisdom, who has 3 wins this season, he's got 270. The 2 drivers in front of him have no wins just yet. Brody Falliker sitting P4 with 263 points. Jimmy Cocker, he's going to round out the top 5 with 240 points.
Yeah, Tom Flitcroft and Jose Ruiz, a good, 12 points behind, between those two. James Holzer, a part-time driver, sitting with 203. Matt Burgess, just 3 points behind him. And to round out the top 10, Rivers Jones with 197.
You know, let's talk about Rivers Jones. He's sitting P10. He's 10th in points. And I'll tell you what, this is another driver who I think has improved quite a bit over these seasons. And I just love to see it. I love to see the improvements. They just do a phenomenal job. You can tell that they put in the work for it. And he is proving that each and every race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's been a huge marked improvement between season 1 and now here a few races into season 3. What am I saying? A few. We're past halfway in the season already. But from season 1 to season 2, a huge improvement. Season 2 to season 3, again. I mean, these guys, they're out there running officials. They're out there running leagues. They're running track tests. They're doing all kinds of things to get ready for whatever it is that they're getting into. And man, the time that they spend behind the wheel is huge when, family doesn't come first.
Absolutely. On board with Steven, who is our current leader. It's coming up on some traffic, and I do believe that is going to be Matt Burgess involved in that first caution, missing the entire front end of his machine. We'll see how these guys get around, and yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see what lines they take. There's got to be some communication.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you've got to kind of yield to the leader. You can't, they get line preference. As it looks like the 12, he's going to go ahead and go low. 19 should have enough momentum coming off the corner. 12 is going to go ahead and stay high, giving the 19 the bottom line. And how about this, though, Eliza? Right behind him, Hunter Johnson. He was more than a second behind Steve Maggio. He's got it down to just half a second as the 12 moves over for him also.
Yeah, he is definitely closing that gap. And Brody Falliker up in third. He is just under a second, and he's got Jackson Glenn Austin in tow behind him. So these guys starting to spread out throughout the field. But I'll tell you what, Hunter Johnson, he is reeling Steven in, and we might see a lead change soon enough as he is starting to go right to his back bumper.
Yeah, really getting into the corner and off the corner has been the strong point for the 99 of Hunter Johnson, and it just continues to dwindle down. Now less than 2/10 between these two drivers. Look at the 99 absolutely fly off the corner, right up to the back bumper, right up to the driver's side door. He's going for the pass now.
He is going for the pass. Will he be able to get it done by the time this corner is over? I don't know. He doesn't have enough momentum, but we'll see. Coming off the exit, you can see it gets a little loose, a little bit of a fishtail right there, but he's going to be right on that back bumper. He's going to be trying it again soon, Pete.
Oh, absolutely. He's just been way too fast. He's got to, get that little bit of looseness out of it. But the exit of the corner is really where he's beating the 19 of Steve Maggio. We'll have to see if he can get that momentum to work in his favor, if he gets just a little bit closer to this car and try to take that lead on one of these straightaways off the exit.
I feel like Hunter Johnson is a little bit stronger on those exits. The difference that I'm seeing right now, I'm kind of curious if Hunter, man, you can see him bouncing off that wall. Take a look at that. You know that eventually is going to affect his car. But right now, he's getting such a huge run on those exits. I'm kind of curious if he is not shifting down. Let's go on board with Hunter. See what he's doing out here. Yeah, he's in fourth. He is all over that back bumper right there. Give him a little bit of a nudge. You think we're at a super speedway. We are not. We're at Darlington. These guys are getting crazy. Some traffic up ahead. Our top 4 guys. You can see them up here, and then quite a bit of a gap, and Hunter goes way down low there. Who is that? Brody Falker goes into second. The 55, Jeff No, is going to be directly in front. So, yeah, we got some traffic things happening here.
Oh, yeah, the entire track is, like, filled with cars now. 99 kind of tagged the wall a couple times, a little bit harder than what he had been doing as the 55, Jeff No, goes a lap down. But now the one of Brody Falker is in front of the 99. And right now, Hunter Johnson's just got to be saying, I can't get past these Mac the Knife cars.
Absolutely incredible. Steven, that's gonna, I would say that would have helped him out, but he is dealing with so much traffic right now. There's nowhere for him to go. You can see him on that inside as he passes the 9 of Philip Bridgman and another driver. He makes his way on through. Now he's gonna have to try to let these guys hold the second place off as they're hardened to the wall. That is going to affect Brody Falker. He has to dive it down low to not get into that 31.
Yeah, 31 keeping it up high, wide, and handsome for the 99 now. Now you got the 9 and the 31, the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin. He was also able to follow those guys through, but all that really helped Steven Maggio. He is back to a 1.6 second lead now over Brody Falker.
Yeah, let's take a look. Top 5 is going to be John Honeycutt, and that 31 is still in the wall trying to let these guys go by. Man. Absolutely insane. There goes Honeycutt past Philip Bridgman, and then Tom Flitcroft. You can see in that Dale Jr. scheme looking good out there, sitting P6. Rivers Jones, he's going to be in 7th, up 12 spots from where he started. Justin, he's going to be in that 47 Sunny D machine. He's up 10 spots from where he started. He sits P8.
Yeah, Jeff Byers in that 333, that Pantera car that he's pretty, just been keeping with all season long. And Andrew Wisdom, I'm really thinking that those 2 tires or that 2-tire call really hurt his machine, because he has fallen from the lead back to P10 right now with PJ O'Leary in that 24. HendrickCars.com Chevrolet right behind him.
Yeah, he seems to be on his own little island out there. Meanwhile, in 12th, we have Luke Allen leading a next group out here. That's going to have Thomas Harmon behind him, who's fallen back to 13th, down 7 spots from where he started. But take a look as he passes up teammate Matt Burgess. That is not for position, but Micah going to be in 14th, and Matt O'Brien is going to be out here in 15th.
Yeah, Matt O'Brien really waiting for this race. He got it. I think maybe just the 43 needs to get back out into clean air, because when he had it, it looked like he was feeling pretty good. He's got Jose Ruiz in that U.S. Air Force number 23 right behind. But how about Francis Hamilton in that DeWalt number 48? Started 17th, and Eliza, that's right where he stays. Goes to show that that lap time that he put down for qualifying, no fluke. It's pretty much right where he feels comfortable.
Absolutely. Kerblam, thank you so much for the sub. 7 months. I appreciate it. Hey, you were not late. You were just fashionably late, right? It's all good. Glad you're here. We appreciate it. Jacob Locklear sitting P18 with teammate Jordan McGraw sitting 19th. Matthew Gale in 20th. Jarrett Cardwell, I'm loving the paint scheme. You guys, you need to tell me which paint scheme is your favorite. We also have Austin Mitty, another new driver, sitting P22, up 11 spots from where he started. Jimmy Cocker, this is another kind of a surprise, Pete. I thought he would be further up front, but we still have a ways to go as we're heading to lap 60 of 165, so we're not even halfway through yet.
Jordan McGraw's number 34 Corvette racing car. That's kind of giving me vibes of the yellow Corvette that Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. drove in the 24-hour race at Daytona in the beginning of, I want to say it was like, what, 99 or 2000. Looks really, really good. And yeah, Jarrett Cardwell in that deuce. If you've never heard of Rusty Wallace, I'm not quite sure what kind of a rock or how big that rock was you were laying under, but that's an absolutely amazing looking car. And then, of course, Austin Mitty, Joey Logano throwback, you could say. And, of course, Jimmy Cocker, I mentioned it before. This is the original car for Denny Hamlin when he started with Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, FedEx car says that is the car that got Jimmy Cocker into the sport. He fell in love with it, and so he is running that here tonight. Andrew Sanford, I should say, sorry, in the 37 machine, sitting P24 with Kevin Dalatour in 25th. And you can see Philip Bridgman out here in 27th. And Barry All, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hopefully I said that correctly.
Yeah, behind Philip Bridgman is going to be Jeff No out there on track with a little bit of damage to his TJ's team, number 55, that Ford Mustang GT. He's got quite a bit of damage up front. Behind him, you got Connor Cunningham, no surprise, running the Taz colors for Dale Earnhardt Sr. with the Wheaties on the hood. Behind Connor Cunningham, you're going to have Matt Burgess. Same old Mountain Dew, or I'm sorry, yeah, Mountain Dew, listen to me. I can't even get it right, and I'm looking at the car. A&W. Number 12, yet again, Eliza, a week where he gets caught up with somebody. Very, very unfortunate there. And then behind him, you got Jacob Palmer, Joe Turley, Chuck Cody, Riley Rosenbrook, and company. Again, a 35 Cup Series car field here for the Lady in Black.
Take a look at this. You have two twin cars, the 1 and the 19, and they are battling for the lead as Brody Falliker takes over the lead, goes into first, and his twin out here goes into second, Steven, as he led quite a few laps, but Brody says, my turn. I'm going back to the lead in this one machine.
Boy, Polish Hammer out there in chat, he gave me the nod of approval earlier, and now he's just laying that band hammer on me, telling me, nope, the FedEx 11 was not originally Denny Hamlin's car, but for Jason Leffler. I almost forgot about Jason Leffler.
How about that? Thank you, Polish, for those NASCAR facts here. Ooh,
Caution
our
number
second
2 is gonna
caution
fly.
of the night. See if we can find out who involved it. Possibly Luke Allen involved out here. So we can find out what happened. Goes underneath, slides way up, and unfortunately that 84 machine, once again, I feel like he's involved every single race. Nowhere to go. He gets smashed into the wall, and Luke Allen, he's got some damage out there. Gonna have to go in to repair. But 84, just no luck for him. He seems to get smashed into a wall at least once a race.
I would say the 7 could break out his Singular wireless cell phone and make a call for a tow or something, but it looks like he was able to get up, get going. I don't even think they make Singular anymore.
You know what? I don't think they do, Pete. Let's go on board with them and see what happens here. You see a lot of drivers go underneath that yellow or underneath that line and just moved up too fast here.
All right, Eliza, everybody's coming down pit road. Do you think, after seeing what happened with Andrew Wisdom and a few others, anybody will try 2 tires, or you think it's 4 in fuel?
I gotta go 4 in fuel. It's just so important, and we're having some really nice green flag runs here, so I gotta say 4 in fuel.
4 in fuel. Steve Maggio, Brody Falliker, Tom Flitcroft, Andrew Wisdom, and more, as it looks like Steve Maggio is going to be able to beat everybody out of the pits. His pit time is a actually, I take that back. Steve Maggio did not go down pit road. Neither did Austin Mitty or Kevin Dallator. Everybody else came down for 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, topped it off on fuel. But yeah, those 3, Maggio, Mitty, and Dallator, have been out on track since lap 23. Everybody else just now came in on lap 66. Those guys are going to drop like rocks.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm liking that call right there. That's going to definitely affect them moving forward. These guys are going to have fresh tires, fuel, you name it, behind them. Unless they go in the next time around, we'll see what they do. But if they go green on this, I think you're right, Pete. They're going to just drop.
Yeah, I don't get the reasoning behind for the 19 to Steven Maggio. It's not like he's got to stay out to get a point for leading a lap or anything like that. He's been up front for several laps now. The 31 of Hunter Johnson, he was getting closer and closer. And then of course Brody Falliker, he's been fast. I don't get it, but yes, actually the 2 behind Steven Maggio, they did decide to go down pit road. He stayed on track.
Interesting call. Here they go. The 31 coming out here. We'll see what they can do as they go back to green. But, you know, these guys that are behind them are going to have to remember these guys are on older tires. They're going to have to look out for spinning the tires and just a huge fall off from these guys and hopefully make it around safely.
Yeah, usually when we're talking about spinning in tires, we're talking about maybe a Texas or a Kansas or something like that. As it looks like the 19, he's going to go ahead and pull down this time. So he's going to go to the rear. Maybe he just wanted to get that thing packed full of fuel. But I think it probably would have been best to go down, grab your fuel, get track position, and then come on back out. 19 really, really slow getting to that commitment line.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm not sure if that was you know, who knows? Maybe some strategy that will work out in the end, but definitely not something I was thinking. Stratus, what's up? Be safe out there. I know you're having some crazy weather along with a lot of people out there. So if you're in that weather area, be weather aware, be safe. Don't get too crazy out there.
Getting to be just about 7:45 sim time, 91 degree track temp, 88 degree air temp. So track temperature is coming down. Sun is setting, getting close to twilight or dusk rather. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out, whether it grips up or whether it loosens up. Either way, we're getting closer and closer to the second half of this race. Hunter Johnson going to go ahead and take the lead up 28 spots. Brody Falliker is going to be P2. Honeycutt, Jackson Glenn Austin, and Justin Anisigok, your top 5.
Yeah, just doing a phenomenal job out here. Tom Flitcroft, P6 on the outside looking in for that top 5. Rivers Jones in 7th, and I feel like he's been consistently in that top 10, so a great night for him so far. Andrew Wisdom in 8th, Jose Ruiz in 9th, and Matthew O'Brien sitting out in the top 10. We are back to green, Pete, and man, Hunter Johnson on that outside, a fantastic start for him with Brody Falliker on the inside, and these guys already trying to get those positions.
Yeah, look at Jackson Glenn Austin absolutely wrapping that bottom, allowing the lefts to go just underneath that white line, letting him shoot up the track, able to open up the wheel all over the back end of that one.
Tom Flitcroft hard into the wall, had a little bit of help there. I don't know how they are still green. We're going to see if we can find out where he ended up. But yeah, trying to make his way back out on track. We are still green, unfortunately for him. We'll see how much damage he has.
Yeah, Tom Flitcroft got kicked all the way back to P24, down 21 in that red, white, and blue Budweiser number 8. Tom's parents out there in chat as well, talking about this star-spangled fast race car.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car for sure. Hate to see it. You can see Matt, he's got a lot of damage out here. Tom Flitcroft taking it low. A lot of right front damage for him as he went hard into the wall. Nowhere for him to go. Stays out for now. Pretty surprising.
Yeah, allowing the 55 of Jeff No to go on by. I think the 8 just really needs to figure out just how much damage he's got, how that thing is handling differently in this on this egg-shaped oval here at Darlington. But Hunter Johnson right now able to hold on to the lead. Brody Falliker P2. Jackson Glenn Austin remains P3. But how about John Honeycutt? up to P4, and Brody Falliker yet again going shake and bake purple, posting a 28.97 for a lap. Eliza so far is the only one to get into the 28s.
He wants that lead once again. He's going down low underneath Hunter Johnson. Gonna have a nose out. Will it be enough to take over that lead? They have a nice run coming off the exit here. Side by side. How about that? Still going side by side into the corner yet again. Brody, I don't know if he's gonna have enough. Hunter Johnson really gets aggressive. He spins him. He spins him, Pete. That's gonna bring out a caution.
That looked really bad, but great job by the 99 for the most part to try to hold on to it. Kept it up by the wall. Very unfortunate. Brody Falliker, I know he didn't mean it. I'm sure right now he's reaching out saying, hey man, I'm sorry. It drifted up a little bit higher than I thought it was going to.
I mean, that's just good, clean, hard racing. Unfortunately for Hunter, it ended that run right there. He'll have to come down. Hopefully doesn't have a lot of damage, but man, what a wild race to get to that lead. That's Darlington for you.
Yeah, they've been saying for a while these cars are like tanks. When we get to places like Daytona, Talladega, it used to be you had to like get on up to the back bumper and just give a little bit of a shove, This past season, in officials, I mean, they were absolutely just slam drafting these cars. So the A-class car, these next-gen cars, built very tough. Hopefully that 99 is not too worse for the wear.
Let's get Hunter Johnson in here. Hunter, it's Eliza. How you doing out there?
Would be better if I didn't get wrecked.
I know it was a close battle. Man, it looked like a lot of fun. I'm curious how much damage you think you had, but how's your car running out there?
Before that. Setup's pretty tight. Right front definitely gets killed. So it's a lot of saving on the right front. Can't really kill the right rear. I've tried different things. I've only been downshifting in 3 and 4. Felt like getting a better drive off the top. Okay, 23 seconds of damage, not too bad. Already had 12, so probably about 10 seconds. So it should be fine. I'll just have to drive through the field again.
Draft through the field. You've already made it so many positions. I guarantee we'll see you there again. A lot of luck to you, but man, that looked like a lot of fun out there.
It was a blast, and definitely enjoyed that long green flag run. Tires are going to be a big thing. I know I only have 2 sets left. I know a couple guys still have 3, so it's going to be a fun gamble here.
Absolutely. Take it easy, and good luck out there.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, that was Hunter Johnson after some contact between him and Brody Falliker. Sent him into the wall. Not a lot of damage, luckily, so he's going to be able to get back out there. Brody Falliker, he will be leading us off, and you know, as you said, Pete, that is definitely nothing intentional, but man, that was a fun battle to watch. Kerblam says, are the next-gen cars in iRacing tanks like they are in real life, or is it pretty sensitive? They used to be very sensitive. I just absolutely insane, but they've gotten a bit better on handling some contact, and you can tell just by Hunter Johnson, that's not a lot of damage having 23 seconds, and he said some of that was incurred in a previous incident. So good news for him.
Absolutely. I mean, if that was the truck, I mean, you blow on the truck and you're sitting on pit road with under the damage clock. But yeah, these things are absolute tanks. That additional 12 seconds after he just backed it into the fence, that would have been a lot worse if it was the truck or the Xfinity car.
Yeah, we're on board with Tom Flitcroft. He's still sitting on pit lane trying to repair that damage. So I'm kind of curious how much longer he will be out there, but definitely a caution needed for him to not bleed out so many laps. We'll see what he can do to try to get back onto the lead lap. Let's take a look at how many laps he is down. We have Homer down 9 laps. We'll see as we go through here. Jarrett Cardwell in 20th. Joseph Turley, Tom Flitcroft down 4 laps. So it could be worse, but I think this will not be our only caution. It is the third of the night, lap 78 of 165.
You know, Liza, I try to go through it. I wish everybody luck before these races start. And Tom told me, he goes, I'm probably going to wreck. I mean, I think he even has that in his bio, and that's just his personality. He loves to have a great time, loves to race, has for many, many years. He has won several times here in Shake and Bake, and I'm sure the season's nowhere over for this 8. I'm sure we're going to see him close to, if not in victory lane, at least once or twice more before the season's over.
Absolutely. They just have so much fun out here. I know sometimes it gets heated. You have these short tracks and or you have these really drafty tracks that these guys are on top of each other. So overall, they have a lot of fun, but we're getting ready to go back to green. Once again, we'll see what these guys can do as they make their way past the start-finish line, heading in to lap 79 of 165, heading back to green. Brody Falliker leading as Jackson Glenn Austin on that outside. You can see the field flying by.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting. Brody Falliker posting the fastest lap a couple times when he had cars in front of him. Let's see just how fast this #1 machine is now that he's got all kinds of clean air. But for how long? Here comes the 21 Jackson Glenn Austin flying up the inside, throwing it in late. He's going to have to check up a little bit. Will we see a counter move? One down low, going to come off the corner side by side.
How about that? You know, I feel like a lot of these moves are being made in the first lap of going back to green, and Brody Falliker did it earlier on, and he did a fantastic job. And here we go. Jackson Glenn Austin used it, got into first, and Brody Falliker some contact with the wall. Coming out of the exit, John Honeycutt directly behind him. Rivers Jones in fourth, having a terrific run tonight. And Matt O'Brien, he is going to round out the top 5.
Yeah, Matt O'Brien's starting to work his way back up. He's got his teammate of Andrew Wisdom right behind him. And how about Micah Allard in that 61 right now, sitting P7? He's up 8 spots in his Camaro and continues to push. Jeff Byers in that 333, making big strides this evening to stay inside the top 10. Justin Aniscock sitting P9, he's up 9. And then to round out the top 10, Jose Ruiz for Team FTR solidly inside the top 10 again.
Yeah, these guys so close in a long train out here doing a fantastic job. But Jackson Glenn Austin still leading that field in the 21 machine. Brody Falliker still in second. John Honeycutt in third. And these guys are on top of each other.
Yeah, John Honeycutt in that high-tech securities machine. He's got the 91 really wrapping the high side. He's going to have a big run, gets around Andrew Wisdom up high. He's got the draft from the 50 of Honeycutt. Looks like the 51's going to be able to pass the 91. And, boy, these guys are absolutely flying. Brody Falliker right back to where he started in P2. Andrew Wisdom back up the 4th, right where he started also.
Take a look at these guys. John Honeycutt gonna lead this next pack that Pete was talking about. Very, very crowded track out here. And meanwhile, in 10th, we have Thomas Harmon, who is leading this next pack. And right behind him is going to be Jimmy Cocker. We're going to have Jose Ruiz side by side with Francis Hamilton. We'll see if we can keep him off the wall. Jose is going to fall back a little bit. Matthew Gale is going to be in 14th. And he's got an Austin Mitty directly behind him.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson trying to work his way back up in that number 99. He's back up to P16 with Jarrett Cardwell in the douche, just a couple spots back. A little bit of lap traffic.
Someone hard into the wall. I don't know if that was Andrew Sanford, but man, oh man, that was brutal. I want to take a look, see if we can get feedback from that and see if we can find out what happened here. Just sitting on the,
Yeah, definitely got a little loose. I think maybe up high, a little bit too much throttle too early. And yeah, the 37 Quaker State machine had to tow it.
Had to tow it. He's on pit lane. Man, rough night for some of these drivers. Connor Cunningham is going to be the first one a lap or more down, and that is going to be for P23. Meanwhile, Jackson Glenn Austin, he is out here still in the lead. Let's take a look at that gap. Just a second behind is going to be Brody Falliker.
Yeah, Brody Falliker, another, so far, I don't want to jinx the guy, but so far, another runner-up, another podium spot. But I think we can get on up there and try to challenge Jackson Glenn Austin Glenn Austin, I mean, he's on flyer laps. His last lap was 29:32. His very best 29:04. So he's trying to put time, and like you said, right now he's a second over Brody Falker. Falker just running very consistent laps. 29:35 was his last lap. Again, his best ever though, sub 29 with a 28:97. The one knows how to get it done, Eliza.
Huge gap between Glenn Austin and Falker, about a second, but take a look at how crowded this is. This is going to be a pack of 5 cars led by John Honeycutt, and he's got Micah directly behind him, Andrew Wisdom, third car in that line sitting P5, and Rivers Jones in P6 up 13 spots from where he started, and Justin is going to be at the tail end of that little pack with Matthew O'Brien kind of caught in between these 2 packs.
Yeah, Darlington it's a driver's racetrack, which is why I stay away from it. But I tell you, this track, we're seeing different people move on up to the front. We talked about Rivers Jones and where he is in points. We talked about Justin Aniscock and him joining Shake and Bake Racing and been doing pretty well, even with the little bit of an issue that he had last week. But look at Jeff Byers sitting P9 in that triple three. We're seeing people up at the front, which we talk about, but usually it might be 10th to a 15th place car on a certain night. But these guys right now really able to handle the lady in black pretty well.
They sure are. A lot of them have gotten those famous Darlington stripes. But yeah, they're doing a phenomenal job tonight. A lot of fun to watch as you see that sun is setting and really making these paints look really nice. Jeff Byers has Matthew O'Brien directly in front of him. Meanwhile, he's got Thomas Harmon directly behind him. And that is a long train that we see here. But it looks like a lot of fun out there. But I can tell you, when I tried it, I did I don't know. I'm going to say 30 laps, Pete. And I probably hit the wall for 29 of them.
I get it. You were trying the watermelon man method. I absolutely get it. But how about the 68 of Tom Harmon? We've talked about him, once or twice as far as where he is in position. But this kind of track absolutely suits Tom Harmon. Any track we go to where it's very, very abrasive, you got to be able to save tire. Sometimes even you got to save a little bit of fuel to get an extra lap or 2 out before you hit that magic lap to come on down for your last stop. This man is absolutely amazing when it comes to having to save his equipment. Right now, Tom Harmon, he's down 4 spots in P10, but as always, Eliza, I look forward to him working his way through to the top 5 before the race is over.
Yeah, and that's definitely a hard thing to do here. We've talked about the dirty air, how there's just really no room to pass here. So it's very difficult to pass. If you do it, you got to make it short and sweet, because if you remain side by side with somebody is either going to get walled, wrecked, or you're just going to wear your tires out, and you can't do that. We've had a lot of green flag runs here. This is going to be no different. We're on lap 94 of 165. What's funny, Pete, is that this race was due to be quite a bit shorter, but we spoke about it, and they're saying, you know what, it's a throwback race. It's one of the biggest races out here. We're going to do the longer of the version. So we brought it up to 165 tonight.
It's a crown jewel race. You got to do right by it. And I'm sure these guys, they're racers. They will get on out here and attack every single lap, as they always do. So talk about being attacked. The 333 Pantera machine for Mr. Byers just got passed by the 68 of Tom Harmon, so move him up to P9.
And speaking of attack, Brody Falker is all over Glenn Austin here. Take a look at this. He has closed that gap, and he is looking to make another move for the lead here. Almost, yeah, he got into the wall just a little bit. Not enough to really do anything except lose some time. But he's going to try to close that gap again. This battle is looking very, very tight. Stoic, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Let me know who you're rooting for, what's your favorite paint scheme, and your favorite driver.
Yeah, the one of Brody Falker, he's tagged the wall a couple times. He's getting those lefts down below that broken white line, shooting up towards the center, I'm sorry, the high side of the track in the center of the corner, and then turning back in yet again to try to use the momentum of the track. But it looks like the 21, excuse me, of Jackson Glenn Austin running a completely different line than the one, and that is absolutely helping Brody Falliker because he's been able to get some kind of clean air on the hood of that Mac tonight. Number one, Brody Falliker continues to break into that little bit of a lead now.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see, all these drivers are on the same lap old tires. So those drivers that stayed out before, they are no longer in the picture here. But Jackson Glenn Austin still holding out this lead, but I don't know for how much longer. Brody really using every piece of track that he can to make up some momentum on Jackson here. So we'll see if he can't make that move as we're on the backstretch. Heading into turn 3, Brody goes into 5th, quickly goes back down into 4th. Gonna swing it up high, bring it down low, and have hopefully a nice exit as Jackson, not a great exit for him, and Brody's gonna go underneath, and here he goes into the lead with the nose out. Can he hold on to it? He's gonna fall back a little bit. That high side, it's strong, Pete.
Holy cow, the 21, I thought he had to kind of give that spot back, but no. Able to really stay in the throttle on that side of the track anyway. You wouldn't be able to do that in 3 and 4. It's much too narrow. But how about that high side really allowing the 21 to keep that spot? But heads up to Brody Falliker for recognizing that the 21 was still out there. That goes to tell me that what happened, or just kind of reaffirming what happened between him and the 99 earlier, just truly a racing accident.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. But here we go. Brody Falliker once again challenging Jackson for that lead. He's going to have underneath of Jackson, unable to make it happen, fall back. Jackson just so incredibly strong on that high side, and it is very difficult to hold it out there. The longer these runs get, the tighter it gets. So we're on about a 35 lap run, so these guys are feeling pretty tight, but he is able to really throttle control that outside and make it work and use that momentum.
I tell you what, these guys battling, line after line, lap after lap. It has brought Micah Allard in that 61 within a second of these two as they go side by side yet again going into turns 1 and 2.
These guys will not give up. How about that? Unfortunately, Brody's still unable to get it done, and we're coming to the point where depending on how much he continues that fight, he will wear those tires down. And we saw a little bit of a fishtail from Micah directly behind. That's going to be for P3. He kind of snuck up in here and right in front of John Honeycutt. He's looking at a podium finish if he can hold on to that.
Yeah, Micah Allard, another one that's very, very strong. John Honeycutt having a great run this evening here in Darlington. Really closing on the back end of that 61 machine, way off the corner. Going to try to go ahead and pull his inside. Micah's going to go ahead and check up just a moment. Let the 50 go on by. They both realize there's no sense in battling between these two positions. The key is going to be the lead. We got a wreck for the lead.
Wreck for the lead. Brody Falliker into the wall. Hard hit. Matthew O'Brien T-bones him right in the front stretch. Man, oh man. That is a heartbreaker right there for those two drivers. Ton of damage for Brody. You can see a lot of damage to that front right. Man, that just might end it there for him. Honeycutt goes to the lead after that one.
Yeah, it looks like that one has all kinds of pinion damage, and yeah, very, very unfortunate for a very, very strong race car. The 50 is going to be able to take advantage of all this. Great heads-up driving by both John Honeycutt and the 61 of Micah Allard. That one is just not drivable. 43, he's puffing smoke out the back. Very unfortunate for him as well, especially for a guy that's been waiting for this race to come along.
See if we can go back and find out what happened with Brody. And again, just going up the track, there's not much you can do about that. It's just Darlington. It's so extremely tight. you get up the track, and Matthew O'Brien just unprepared to see that as he goes around, and you can see a ton of smoke coming out of his machine, as Pete said there. But man, so unfortunate.
Wow. So the one really going for the lead, 21 was up high, just came together. You mentioned it a little bit ago. These cars were starting to get really, really tight. You're trying to carry max speed off the corner and just couldn't do anything about it.
Heartbreaking. And I don't know if you caught it there, but we just showed a view, and you can see in between these two a little bit of net code, which makes it so much more frustrating to see that happened. May have happened either way, but man, that is not the way you want to go. I see you guys out there in chat. Racer Wreck, the lady in black, she will get you. And boy, oh boy, did she get these guys. RC Action, how's it going? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Kerblam, it was a bad situation indeed. All these guys out on pit lane. Micah gonna come out here. Glenn Austin in second. I'm kind of surprised, Glenn Austin, if there was any contact between him. Did he have any damage to repair? But he seems just fine, Pete.
You know, one thing, and Eliza, I'm sure that these guys probably be able to race circles around me. I'm no good in any kind of a vehicle. A good thing I race a microphone, right? But we were talking earlier about racing the racetrack versus racing each other. Yeah, you want the spot. You don't want to run second. But I really think that those two, they just needed to stay single file, didn't have to really press each other for that spot. I mean, if it was lap 160, 162, something like that, yeah, sure, you got to go. But we still had, 60 laps to go. I just think they needed to race the track at that point when those cars were as tight as they were, as pushy as they were. Very, very unfortunate for both the 1 and the 43, as well as the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin. But Micah Allard to the lead. Jackson Glenn Austin able to retain P2. Not quite sure how much damage he had. Tom Harmon, I mentioned him moving on up through the running order before Rivers Jones P4 and Jimmy Cocker in that number 11 Toyota TRD machine sitting P5.
I want to have a chat with Brody Falliker out here. He had such a fantastic run. Brody, it's Eliza in the booth. How you doing?
Not good now.
How much damage do you have out there?
Well, I'm still towing.
Gotcha.
I guarantee you it'll be over. I guarantee you that'll be the race, but...
Right. So unfortunate to see.
Yeah, just watching the replay, Brennan says it's net code, I'm not really sure, but once I made any sort of contact with the 21, I just couldn't get off of him.
Yeah.
And then I'm not really sure what the 43 was doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So many different circumstances. I did see a bit of net code on the replay for sure. And that's what makes this so tough. You hate to see it out there. You had a fantastic car. In fact, I think you had one of the winning cars out there. So just hate to see it for you. And hopefully we'll see you out here in the front next time. All right. You heard it from Brody right there. We'll get him back in his chat here. It always likes to play difficult, but these guys are going back to... I know. We'll get him back there. It likes to be a little bit difficult here at Darlington, side-by-side racing, and Brody Falliker, unfortunately, succumbed to the red stripes here. A little bit of contact, and off we go.
All right, so Eliza, pace car's gone ahead and pulled down pit road, 61-21. Tom Harmon in the 68, Rivers Jones in the 91, and Jimmy Cocker's the top 5. Back green flag racing, 61 hard on that loud pedal. Let's go.
Heck yeah, 61 is like, you know what, I'm out front. I'm going to get way out front, and he gets a nice start with Jackson Glenn Austin a little bit behind here, and he's got Thomas Harmon sitting P3 with Rivers Jones in 4th, just having a fantastic run. I keep saying that, but man, oh man, I am super pumped for him tonight. Hopefully we don't jinx it, but guess who's back, Pete? Hunter Johnson sitting P6, up 23 spots once again from where he started. He went to the front last time, had a little incident, and now he's back.
I tell you what, I think Rivers Jones needs to run these colors every single week, because that Stanley yellow with that black top absolutely working magic for him here at the Lady in Black. 99 now pulling to his driver's side. 99 trying to keep it low. 91 up a little loose, but able to stay in the throttle. Does he keep it off the wall? No, slaps the wall. That's going to give the 99 the advantage, and they'll go back single file.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, I know, we've talked about it. He seems to find that wall in some of these races here. I don't know how he keeps it. He just sideways right there, almost loses it, but holds on to it, and he's going to lose a spot from that. Jose Ruiz is going to be right behind him. We'll see if he can't make up a spot, but man, oh man, these guys starting off very, very loose, and I think we're going to have a tire situation here soon. These guys, some of them only had 2 tires left, and that was on the last stop, so if they were not saving, and if some of these guys used those tires up earlier on, they're really going to have to save these tires now.
Yeah, I was actually in cockpit mode with the 99 right there as he got loose. And I tell you, he was sawing that wheel left and right, trying to get it to save. Very, very good save by him. And as you said, Jose Ruiz and then Justin Ennis got right behind, all single file from 1st through 10th.
On board with Micah, and we're just looking at the back view of his car, and you can just hear him shifting. These guys having to shift every single corner to make sure they get that car woed down and that turnability that they need to make that corner and not hit that wall. But Jackson Glenn Austin, a phenomenal job for him tonight, sitting P2. Thomas Harmon, we talked about him earlier. He knows how to save that machine. He knows how to find his way up to the front, and he's done it here once again tonight.
Yeah, I actually had the pleasure of calling to Tom Harmon to victory last night at Legacy Atlanta in another league, and it's just same thing. Really abrasive track. There were limited tires. They actually called it a Goodyear tire shortage race, funny enough. And yeah, the man was able to get it done on the limited sets that they had. And of course, that was in his Avril Lavigne truck tonight, as always, here in Chicopee, rocking the Avril Lavigne Cup car.
Avril Lavigne always treats him very, very well. He always does so consistently well here. It's phenomenal that he does an SMB. But man, Micah looking pretty confident out here in the lead. You see Jackson Glenn Austin just over half a second behind, and he's got a gaggle of cars behind him just waiting to catch up to the lead and hopefully switch some positions around. But that is a tight field. And then you got Micah on his own little island.
Yeah, I'm watching the 21. It looks like he's really holding up the 68 and the 11 and whatnot. Some of those other guys are going to have to really practice a little bit of patience until the 68 can either open the door to get underneath the 21, or hopefully these guys don't make contact. But that 21, I don't know if he's got damage on the right-hand side or what the case may be. But the 3 behind him, the 68 of Tom Harmon, Jimmy Cochran, the 11, and Hunter Johnson back up inside the top 5. Up 24 spots, and here they go, trying for P2.
Yeah, trying for P2. The 21 car got underneath that apron and kind of slid up. I just heard a little bit of contact between him and the wall, and they are side by side between him and Thomas Harmon. And Thomas Harmon, he's got his teammate now side by side with him as they enter that corner.
Yeah, Tom Harmon and the 68 and the 21 made a little bit of contact. 68 ended up turning down low, but able to hold on to it. I'm sure the conversation's absolutely going between Hunter and Jimmy Cochran. I'm sorry, Hunter and Tom Harmon about what they've got to do to get by this 21.
Matthew O'Brien making his way back out on track. Take a look at that machine, missing the entire front end. That is a rough night for him, as that tire still looks completely crooked. I don't know if it's just the angle, but boy, oh boy. Another trouble, we have Tom Flitcroft. He's out on track, but I just saw John Honeycutt. He was out there. It showed me that he was a couple laps down, but looks like he might, yeah, he's down 1 lap. Not quite sure if he got involved in that incident, but he was up in the top 5, and now he's down a lap.
Yeah, that is strange. I'm not quite sure what happened with Honeycutt in that High-Tech Securities 50. Both him and Micah Allard were nose to tail when that last caution happened. And like you said, now down one lap. Looks like, I believe, just that Jeff No would be the free pass car. If a caution should happen to... No, actually, John Honeycutt is the first car one lap down. So should another caution fly here at the Lady in Black, he'd be able to go ahead and get his lap back, providing Micah Allard doesn't pass anyone else in the immediate future.
On board with Jimmy Cocker, he currently sits P5, up 8 spots from where he started. You see he's got Hunter Johnson directly in front of him. Crowded track right now. He's got a few cars in front of him and a lot of cars behind him. So we'll see if these cars can't make their way up to Micah, who is sitting still P1st. And man, he is looking solid out there. You can see just up ahead of Micah is going to be a lap car. We'll see how he maneuvers around it.
Yeah, Micah now with a 1.1 second lead over Jackson Glenn Austin. Tom Harmon still back there. Micah is going to have to start navigating his way around. Like you said, he's got a car coming up that he's about to lap. Going to be Jacob Palmer in that SIAPS number 39. Huge save for Palmer. That could have been huge as the leader's coming around.
Yeah, that is definitely a circumstance you do not want to see, and I know that's going to make these drivers behind him very, very nervous as they try to make their way on through, and he brings it up to the wall, hard into the wall, and everyone has to dive down to miss him as they make their way around. Woo, very, very close for these drivers.
Absolutely. 91 of Rivers Jones able to get on by. So did Justin Anaskok and Andrew Wisdom in the 51. Everybody back to Jose Ruiz and Francis Hamilton. I haven't talked much about that DeWalt number 48 so far tonight, but he's up 7 spots into the top 10.
Yeah, he's doing pretty solid. Started 17th, up 7 spots, so having a great, great night. Directly in front of him, he's got Jose Ruiz. These guys, again, a very, very crowded track where these guys are. Lap 125 of 165. This race is quickly heating up, and the aggression is only going to get worse as we have the 37 hard into the wall. A lot of contact between these drivers. I'm not exactly sure where that started, Pete.
Yeah, the 51 and the 47 also just made contact, kind of hooked each other just slightly, but able to save it. And we're staying green.
We're staying green. They saved it. We are still off and running. And meanwhile, Micah still leading. Just doing a phenomenal job. Will we see another new winner here tonight? This would be his first win of the season. I know he would be super excited. And Pete, my overlay says that he is on pit road. He's been there apparently since we went back to green, but we know that is not the case.
You gotta love this tool sometimes. No, Mike Allard definitely not on pit road. As funny enough, it's actually showing me the same thing. So it's not just you. But yeah, Micah, he's extending that lead, so he's not slowing down at all, Eliza. In fact, he is putting more and more of a gap between himself and Jackson Glenn Austin. He just went from 1.6 up to 1.9 in like the last lap and a half. So Micah's car feeling really, really solid right now.
It's feeling really, really solid, but my concern is, Pete, we brought this up a couple of times. What about that tire wear?
Yep.
Will he be getting way too tight, using up those tires? You can see he's got some traffic ahead. That's going to be Matthew O'Brien missing that entire front end. He gets out of the way, and we see another driver down there, the 37, lets him go on by. So clear track for him, and that gap has increased to 2 seconds with Kevin Delatour directly in front of him.
Yeah, 92, Yingling Machine. He's going to go ahead and go a lap down. Yeah, I wonder if Micah is thinking, you know what, I'm going to catch these guys. I'm going to have to slow down. So I'll push now while I can and then slow up as he gets to lap traffic. But Micah right now, it just looks like he's on cruise control.
He is on cruise control. This is definitely a rhythm track. You have to know your let-off points, your braking points, your throttle points. You have to know when to shift. You talked about that earlier, Pete. Ooh, that was close. But you have to know when to shift down, when to shift up. Because if you shift down at the wrong time, you could really upset the car, and that's obviously going to cost you some spots, some time. But Glenn Austin gained about a 10th on that lap. See if he can't put any more, but Hunter Johnson is pushing. Yeah, we can see these guys really heating up, and this is going to be the battle for P2 out here.
Yeah, Jackson Glenn Austin still has P2, 99 and 68. absolutely working together. 68 was behind the Husky number 21. 99 was able to get on by, or the 68 let him go. It says, hey, you go ahead and see if you can get on up there and open up that hole, and we'll both go on by. And when or if that happens, I think it's going to be the 11 and Jimmy Cocker able to get through, as well as Andrew Wisdom putting himself inside the top 5.
Jimmy Cocker lets off quite a bit heading into that corner and falls back off of Thomas Harmon, but we got a caution.
Lap one time real quick.
See what
Looks
happened
like
here.
Connor Cunningham and Tom Flitcroft.
Ooh, man, Connor into the wall, and Tom Flitcroft makes some contact, and both into the wall. Front end damage, some right side damage for Connor Cunningham. Unfortunate.
Yeah, the 8 kind of stuck up by the wall. 3 able to roll on down. Tom Flitcroft not able to get up the banking to get that wheel to go left. Very unfortunate for the 2 of them. But everybody should be coming on down, I believe, for their last stop here. So Mike Allard, he's going to give up that entire lead. Only good thing about the time that he had ahead is everybody else going to be coming on down pit road about a good half second behind him. So he's almost assured that he'll have the lead coming off of pit road.
Absolutely. We'll see who wins this battle coming off. But man, oh man, Racer Wreck, it would be his first time at least in SMB this season. So we'll see what he can do tonight, but he's looking extremely strong. And if you guys can, I'm going to put the link out there for WoodyxCA, series sponsor. Go ahead and click on that link. Give him a follow. He does NASCAR Heat, Call of Duty. A lot of fun to hang out with. I've known him for years. Be sure that if you see him, tell him we said hi and come right back over.
There you go. So how about the 67 of Matt Gale up 20 so far, staying out to go ahead and grab a point for leading a lap. Jarrett Cardwell right now running P2 in that Rusty Wallace throwback. Micah Allard came on down pit road, and he was the first one off. So we'll have to see if the Deuce and the 67 come on down, or if they decide to stay out, thinking maybe cautions will breed cautions, Eliza.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we've talked about how detrimental it is with the tire starting off. So he may just want an extra bonus point for leading. We'll see what happens. And the strategy could be different than what we're thinking. But I have a feeling they might go back down pit road.
Yeah, I would think so too. Otherwise, it's going to be very detrimental to their race and possibly to the others that are going to start behind them. But so far, staying out behind that iRacing pace car, the 55 of Jeff No. I believe he was the first car 1 lap down, so he's just waiting on the Sim to say, go ahead and get around the pace car, go ahead and get your lap back. Good job for him so far. But yeah, Matt Gale, Jarrett Cardwell.
And remember, guys, this is a series. We changed it up a little bit. We do not have playoffs. We're not resetting the points. This is straight all the way through. And Matthew O'Brien has been so incredibly consistent. He has been leading the points for several races. So this is just a long battle until we head to the championship. Every race matters. Every point matters. And these guys, if they can get those points, they're going to try to get them.
Yeah, I mean, it's old school NASCAR at an old school track. This track was part of the inaugural season for NASCAR. So what a great season it's been so far. And yes, Eliza, every single point matters. If you can stay out to lead a lap and maybe come on down later, it makes sense. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the top 3 as far as points goes when everything shakes out this evening after the issues that Matt O'Brien has had tonight.
Absolutely. Master Steven, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Sandy, oh man, I'm crushed for you. He said, internet bad. Race over for me. I did some flips, but no one saw. Ah, man, brutal. You were looking solid out there. I hate to see it. But Matthew Gale going to be leading us back to green with Jarrett Cardwell. He's going to be on that outside. Micah is going to be right behind our leader. We'll see how these guys start. They are on older tires. See how it affects them.
Yeah, well, pace car is going to go ahead and pull off. They got to be nervous about this restart. Does the rear end kick out? Are they able to get a great launch? What gear are they starting in? What's going on? We're about to find out. 67 is going to be first on that loud pedal. Let's go.
Here we go. A great start from Matthew Gale, and he's going to have to continue to use that momentum as he heads to the high side right in front of Jarrett Cardwell, moves back down, and he's going to use all he can heading into these corners. And remember, this track is loose on those first sets, and Jackson Glenn Austin into the wall as he makes his way around.
Yeah, 99 and the deuce of Jarrett Cardwell right now side by side. Behind them, they got the 68 and the 51. Eliza, they're gonna be 3 wide.
3 wide, and it looks like trouble here. Thomas Harmon, he had a little bit of contact, managed to save it. I don't know how they saved it. A lot of fishtailing going on, but these guys are maneuvering around, and I can tell you, those not taking that pit stop for it looks like Matthew Gale and Jarrett Cardwell. Unfortunate as Thomas Harmon goes into the wall, comes back on track, so incredibly close, but he is still moving.
Yeah, that whole restart went from bad to worse for that 68. Very, very unfortunate. But man, right now it looks like Micah Allard able to stay up front. Jackson Glenn Austin P2, the 99 of Hunter Johnson. He had his woes earlier. Andrew Wisdom started fourth, running fourth, and Jimmy Cocker P5.
Man, oh man, Matthew Gale extremely hard into the wall. So hard, in fact, that his car bounced up in the air from that hit. You know that his car is not feeling too good just now. And what a save that was. Absolutely Snow Leopard. Thomas Harmon, phenomenal racer, but unfortunately, back to P17 after that save.
Yeah, and we're working lap 140 of 165, so just 25 laps to go here at the Lady in Black. The 67 and the 2 that stayed out under that last caution right now, they find themselves pretty much side by side as the double deuce of Austin Mitty comes on into the picture. They've only fallen back, but they're still inside the top 10 or now just outside of it.
Now let's take a look at him. Meanwhile, up front, Hunter Johnson getting extremely loose, trying to make a move over Jackson for that second spot. You can tell this is aggression racing right now. These guys are going for every spot, and things, I think we might see cautions breed cautions in the last part of this. I hope not. I want to see it play out. I want to get Micah his first win of the season. I would love nothing else, but man, this racing is really ramping up.
Talk about another thing ramping up, and there it is again, that Shake and Bake Purple showing itself for Rivers Jones in P7, up 12 spots in that 91. Eliza, he just bettered the ones time by a full tenth, a 28.86. Rivers Jones in these Stanley colors. I tell you, he's moving around this place.
How about that? Darlington is looking very, very good on him. And our leader, Micah, he is about almost half a second in front of Jackson as they are just battling side by side. And I thought for a second Jackson was hard into the wall, but these guys are just so incredibly close side by side. If you guys recall, Hunter Johnson was involved in a wreck earlier on, somehow made his way back up here.
He's got a bad, fast car, and almost getting into the 21. 21 definitely tagging the wall. 21 coming down, 99 trying to save it, and they're going to be 3 wide. The 11 all the way on the inside.
Almost had it saved. Just heartbroken for Jackson.
I'll leave this one on you if you want to stay out.
Man, I don't even know where to even put that one.
21
that was crazy.
Front clip going, tumbling down the wall on the backstretch. Wow, that big battle between those two cars.
See Hunter Johnson into the wall, comes back down, hits the 21. The 11 makes it through, and Hunter Johnson just unable to really save that the way he needed to.
Yeah, the 333 able to get on by, the 91 able to get on by. Jose Ruiz in that 23 gets by on the high side. Looks like the 99 may have ended up on the good side of things because the 21 had to immediately tow.
Yeah. Jackson just with such a fantastic run tonight, just absolutely heartbroken for him. He was up front for most of the night, and I'm kind of curious how that would end. I think he would have definitely been in the top 3.
So Brody Falker had his problems. The 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin, which was originally involved with the Brody Falker issue, now finds himself on pit road. The 99, who's been fast all night, he's also now on pit road too. So we're seeing different people kind of move up to the front. The 61 of Micah Allard, he's been the dominant one as of late. Andrew Wisdom finds himself P2, Jimmy Cocker P3, Byers in that 333, and then the 91 of Jones P5.
A lot of drivers on pit lane trying to make their way back out. John Honeycutt looks like he might be on the lead lap now. Tom Flitcroft still -8 laps. So, man, a tough night for a lot of these drivers. But, man, what a ton of fun racing. The 6th caution with 20 to go. I wanted to see it go green, Pete. I really, really did. But, alas, here we are.
So Eliza, the 61, he was pulling away before. The 51, he's normally the guy that will just kind of sit back until it's time for him to go. I think that time for him to go has come. The 11, very, very strong. Also, Rivers Jones, he's definitely showing a lot of strength here tonight. Jeff Byers in that 333 Pantera machine sitting inside the top 5. I think it's very possible we will have another first-time winner.
I agree. Another first-time winner is definitely possible. Andrew Wisdom, if you recall, he's got 3 wins, but with everyone around him that has yet to get a win, it is very, very possible. Micah is looking so strong out here. Jimmy Cocker has made his way to the front. You mentioned a couple other names. I'm curious what it will be. 19 to go at the moment. Man, it is close. Pete, I'm going to put you in the hot seat here.
Uh-oh.
Who do you think will get the win? If it goes green and we see everyone play nice, who's getting the win?
If it goes green and we're not bumping fenders too much, well, they say Rubbin's racing, but I think Micah, with that clean air and everybody's got to get around him on a very much one-groove racetrack, I think Micah gets it done. How about you?
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. He's looking so incredibly strong. We saw him put a gap over the field. So I think if he can get a good restart on this and kind of put the noise behind him, I think he could capture his first win of the season. So wish him a ton of luck. Trit, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there. It is a wild race. And Racer Rex says bet more cautions. I hope not. I really hope not. But yeah, cautions breed cautions. And it's Darlington, man. We got these stripes moving on all these cars. I would not be surprised to see another one.
Eliza, I'm kind of curious, going off barreling into turns 1 and 2, you're not quite wide open, but you only have to burp the throttle for just a second before you get back on it. With the high side and the way it works here at Darlington, are you surprised that Micah took the inside and gave the 51 as fast as he's been tonight, the outside line?
Here's my thinking on that. The high side could work too, but you kind of need to use the whole entire track as you're going into one. You want to start off on the low side. So I'm taking low side. Absolutely. I guess, if you get a good enough lead, but why chance it?
And also the control car, which is the 61, by virtue of having that bottom line, they usually get the first stab on that loud pedal anyway, which gives them a little bit of an advantage. But I was kind of curious. I mean, he can't cross lines until after they get to the start stripe, which is right there. So it looks like he's able to do that, and he's bringing the 11 right with him.
Yeah, the 11 car, a fantastic start right behind him. How about that? Up 11 spots from where he started. That's going to be Jimmy Cocker in second, Andrew Wisdom in third, and Rivers Jones. We've seen him in fourth quite a bit out here, but take a look. Thomas Harmon, he's got a lot of traffic around him, and that's going to be the 9 car, Philip Bridgman, directly in front of him, and they are too wide all the way through that battle.
Yeah, it looks like that Joey Logano throwback. He's going to go ahead and line up right behind him. Then he's got the 48 back there also. Tom Harmon, he's got a lot to prove in these last now 16 laps at the Lady in Black.
Woo.
He's pushing his own lady as fast as she'll go. They're fanning out all over the backstretch, Eliza, but able to save it. We're keeping it green.
We are keeping it green, but man, oh man, these guys have me on the edge of my seat. Meanwhile, we have Micah still in the lead, but Andrew Wisdom is right on his back bumper, putting the pressure on him, letting him know I'm here. I'm going for my 4th win. And Micah saying not so fast. He's got to defend that position.
All right, new Shake and Bake Purple flying out there. New leader as well, the 51 of Andrew Wisdom, a 28.81, few hundredths rather, faster than what we saw before. But the purple laps flying late in the race.
You can tell when the flames are under their cars, and it is most indeed under their cars right now. They are absolutely flying. We have Jimmy Cocker still holding out that 3rd spot, Rivers Jones in 4th. Jeff Byers, again, another fantastic run for him. Jose Ruiz in 6th. PJ O'Leary in 7th. These two are battling it out once again. And that is going to be for P6 as PJ goes to the front of it. Can he save it? Crossing my fingers. Can he get it back moving? Man, what a save by these two. Absolutely incredible.
Saw a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Did that HendrickCars.com car go. But how about Andrew Wisdom? I'm thinking he's listening to this broadcast because he said, oh yeah, Pete, hold my bush. And he went down and put yet another fast lap, showing that Shake and Bake Purple with a 28.74. So we were talking, 27.74. We were talking high 28s earlier, and then yeah, here comes Andrew Wisdom in that Bush machine, and he's putting down some serious laps, even after that last yellow.
Yeah, Rivers Jones hard into the wall on that corner exit as that wall comes up so much faster than sometimes you anticipate. And we saw it right there, but Andrew Wisdom, this would be his 4th win of the season. This is last season's championship winner. And if he continues this run that he is having, I don't know, Matthew O'Brien is going to be under attack for that championship, Pete.
Absolutely. I mean, this 51, he's fast in the Indy or F1 cars. He's fast here. He's a road ace that has since in the last season or season and a half absolutely turned up the wick on the ovals. This guy can literally win anywhere now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's phenomenal at the road courses, definitely a known threat there. But man, look at these cars. Every last one of these cars, all 5 cars, into the wall on exit. And that just shows you how tight these drivers are. Let's go on board with Andrew Wisdom as he makes his way onto the front stretch. 8 laps to go. This is incredible. Well, I guess I should say 9 laps to go. But man, oh man, you can see him bringing it up high. He's gonna push it down back low and see if we can keep him off the wall there. Yeah, he looks just fine.
All right, Eliza, I said he ran at 27.74. If that was the case, I think everybody else would have just pulled over and let him have it. But yeah, Micah, he's trying to keep right there in tow. But anytime this 51 has got to the front and he's got that clean air on the hood of his Camry, it's lights out, especially at a place like this where clean air and track position means so much. Now with 8 to go down the backstretch, this 51 trying to extend his gap a little bit, now just about up to a half second.
Thomas Harmon is going to take advantage of Jeff Byers getting into that wall. So he's going to take over that 5th position, makes his way on through. Hunter Johnson, meanwhile, back up into P7. I don't know how he does it. He gets in a wreck, goes all the way to the back, comes back to the front, does it again, and here he is back towards the front. P7, Jose Ruiz, and 8th after making some contact earlier on. He's got to have some damage. He's got Francis Hamilton directly behind and Luke Allen 2 cars behind.
Yo, since we're throwing it back here at Darlington, let's take it back to season 1, where Hunter Johnson actually made it into the top 4, but life came first, and he had to bow out. That allowed the 23 of Jose Ruiz to make his appearance in the playoffs. But I really believe that this 99, had he been able to stick it out that season, would have put up a big fight, and Holzer may have had a bigger challenge for that season 1 championship that he won. So the 99, if he runs as strong as he has tonight all season long, making up ground, making up position after position, we could see a 3rd straight champion, and I believe the 99 is capable of doing just that.
Oh, I absolutely agree. He's a phenomenal driver, races in real life, so he's got the experience. But take a look at this battle. This is P11, and we have a huge traffic jam going on between the 22, the 9, the 47, and the 2 as they are trying to make their way through. And I hear a hard crash into the wall. Not sure who that was, Pete, but we are still back to green with 4 laps to go. This is coming down to the wire, and Andrew Wisdom is starting to really get away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, the 23 Jose Ruiz just had to let about 4 or 5 cars go on by, including the double deuce and the deuce of Jarrett Cardwell. Now he's got the 92 of Kevin Dallatore right behind him with Matt Gale, but the 47 of Justin Anaskok, he's up to P12. Philip Bridgman, 11th. John Honeycutt finds himself back inside the top 10 after getting his lap back. What a drive.
Yeah, great comeback for him. I know he says, you know, I love this track. I seem to do well at the most difficult tracks. And here he is after an uphill battle to climb. But take a look. Micah Allard is making a pass. This is between him and Thomas Harmon, who is up into P2. So a lot of movement as Jimmy Cocker moves back down to P4 from earlier on. But 2 to go. We're coming down to the wire here, and it looks like Andrew Wisdom might be taking it home.
Yeah, Andrew Wisdom is still very, very fast in his Toyota, but talk about fast. Tom Harmon able to overcome getting involved in a wreck with the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin, charged his way back up through the field, took 4 brand new tires. I want to say he did anyway. Yep, he did on lap 145. Everybody else was down on pit road lap 133. So that wreck kind of playing out for him, getting closer and closer to the 51 as we're on the white flag. He's not going to have enough time. He needed about 10 more laps, Eliza.
He most certainly did, but Andrew Wisdom making his way down the backstretch into turn 3. And as long as he doesn't do anything crazy, he will take home his 4th win of the season. It's going to be here at the Throwback Darlington Raceway. Huge congratulations to Andrew Wisdom on his 4th win. Thomas Harmon, a great comeback for him. That is going to be a P2 with Micah rounding out the podium finish here. Fantastic race for him. Jimmy Cocker in 4th. Rivers Jones in 5th and Jeff Byers in 6th. Hunter Johnson already retiring that car, but I do believe brings it home in 7th, Pete.
Yeah, Francis Hamilton behind him in 8th. Luke Allen in 9th. John Honeycutt rallies back for a P10. Justin Anaskok 11th. Philip Bridgman 12th. 13th is going to be Jarrett Cardwell in the deuce. And Kevin Dallatore with Austin Mitty right behind him for the top 15.
What a wild race. A few cautions, a lot of green flag runs. I'm curious to think what these drivers thought of it, but man, from the booth, it was a fun one to watch, no doubt. But here we have Andrew Wisdom celebrating for the 4th time this season. What a run. Man, enjoy this celebration. Andrew, it's Eliza. All right, we got you in for a 4th win. How was your car tonight? How did you make your way up to the front for that win?
Yeah, it felt pretty good actually. Like overall, we had that first caution and we kind of got offset on pit cycle with a few people because we came in for the first stop but only took fuel, no tires. So it gave us an extra set. But after that run, like everybody that took tires, like we were still running top 10. I think if it would have went green for the full run, I actually felt pretty good about gaining some of those spots back potentially. So I was really happy with how the car was driving. It kind of seemed like it was building tight, which doesn't seem to normally happen here. So it was a little bit different to drive, but it made it pretty stable, I guess, if nothing else. So a little easier to manage and try to keep it off the right front. But yeah, then like all the pit cycle craziness and the restarts, and I had like a blunder on checking fuel one pit stop and lost like 5 or 6 spots there kind of somewhere towards the end, and had to try to get back through the field, and I think I angered somebody trying to make my way back through because I got yelled at under caution by someone that I didn't even know, so that was interesting. But yeah, overall good race. Feels really good to win at Darlington. It's a track that has kind of eluded me for a long time, and feels good to kind of win a crown jewel event.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Pete brought up a really good point earlier on. I mean, we know that you're a phenomenal road racer, and man, you are just bringing home the wins for the ovals. And has that always come naturally for you, or just ovals, just a lot of work as you're bringing home these wins?
Yeah, just I guess a lot of work over time. I felt like I was obviously, like you said, like pretty strong on the road courses for whatever reason. That just like kind of seemed to be my niche, however you say it. Sorry, but like I felt like I was pretty good like at road courses in the stock car, and like that was kind of like the only thing I felt I had going for me for a little while with the Gen 7 Cup car. But been just like putting the time in. I've learned a lot last season, obviously, and you know, I think I kind of just like it felt like it expanded over time. Like I went from only road courses and then like road courses and short tracks. I was doing pretty good, and then like road courses and short tracks and flat tracks. And then now it just feels like it's kind of coming full circle.
Absolutely.
We're winning on 1.5 miles and Darlington and everywhere. So spent some time in another league. I do get my butt kicked by 7.5K rating driver on a weekly basis. So I learn a lot. Sometimes you got to lose to learn. So just a lot of things coming together, and I feel like it's making me better in the car overall.
I agree. It's been so fun to watch, and you went back-to-back wins here. Once again, you had last week at Kansas and tonight at Darlington. So huge congratulations to you. That's going to help you out once again in the points. And man, oh man, last season's championship, we might see another back-to-back for Andrew Wisdom on championships too.
Yeah,
congratulations.
So. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Pete, over to you.
All right, Tom Harmon, first off, I got to talk about this rally that you made to get back up to P2. Man, the lady in black, very, very hard. You and the 21 got together. You ended up getting very, very loose, getting tagged by a couple more. Trying to, you know, doing your best to keep it off the wall. Rallied all the way back up to a second place. Lady in black treated you pretty well. I know you had some newer tires after that issue, but please walk us through your race.
For the most part, I just tried to stay up front and keep it clean, stay in the top 10, try to stay as close to O'Brien as I could. And then once he got involved in that wreck, I just wanted a top 5 to take over the points lead. And then the connection with the side happened, and I saw nothing but red after that. And I was driving angry the rest of the way, and then if it wasn't for me being held up for literally about 2 or 3 seconds by 2 cars side by side in front of me on old tires, I probably would have had Andrew hands down.
Well, last season you pointed the field to death up until we got to Daytona, where you got your 1 win of the season. Now, if you are, I haven't looked at the official points as of yet, if you are the new points leader, can you hold it all the way through, since there is no playoff section of the season this year? Or how much are you really going to have to focus on the upcoming tracks, such as Charlotte next week?
Charlotte's one of my better tracks, so thankfully that'll be right in my wheelhouse. But I don't even remember what else is on the schedule. Haven't looked. It surprises me every week. But I just hope to stay consistent top 5, and if I do that, I don't think there's much that anybody can do.
All right, buddy. I mentioned it before on stream. I called you to a win last night, and congratulations on this runner-up this evening. You're absolutely a driver on fire. We'll see you next week, sir.
See you, Pete.
You got it. All right, Eliza, Mike Allard, another bad, fast driver all night long tonight. He's with you.
Mike, I'll be honest, I thought you were going to have a first-time win tonight here for the season, but man, oh man, your car looks so strong. How did you make your way up through the field? You gained 12 spots overall tonight, but you look super fast.
Yeah, I turned myself early there. I qualified, and I really thought the first couple of laps there were gonna get hairy, and I didn't want to be a part of it. So I went to the back, and when we took the green flag there on lap 1, ran a couple laps, and then I got in the outside wall passing the 31 there, and I mean, I should have cleared him. It wasn't his fault, but he came up and hit me in the left rear, and then nose first inside wall. And I was really hoping for a caution, which eventually we got the damage repaired, and just it's hard to pass here, and you really depend on guys understanding the situation. When you run people down, and you really depend on them to yield the position if they notice that you're faster than them, right? So I mean, just trying to be smart about making my passes, and timely cautions there, gained a couple on pit road, led those laps. The car felt good. I was just I'm hungry for a win. I haven't had one since Talladega of last year, I think. So just hungry, overdriving the car a little bit. Andrew's so good. He's amazing at road courses. He's great at these ovals. He's really hard to beat. And I actually messaged the 11 there on that last restart and said, hey, I'm going early, because I needed him to race with Andrew, and Andrew was just so fast. He just ripped around both of us. So I have no idea where Harmon came from. No idea. I looked up in the mirror and I was like, who the heck is that? Where did he come from? And again, he was so much faster than me. I was like, I'm not gonna put up a fight here. I'll take third and be happy with it. I really wanted to win. I feel like Busher felt yesterday, at that photo finish, just heartbroken. I led a lot of laps. I really thought I was gonna get a win there.
I did too. I know Pete did. You looked so strong out there, and I thought we were going to bring you home a first-time winner. You did a phenomenal job, and that just goes to prove to you that you're right there. It's going to happen, Micah. I guarantee it. But man, what a great car you had tonight. A great run, making your way through, and climbing the hill that you had to climb after an incident earlier on. But huge congratulations on P3. You looked phenomenal out there. It was a really fun drive to watch.
Yeah, thank you. I really wish you guys could have seen my throwback paint scheme.
I know.
The very first next-gen paint scheme that I ever had made. It's actually based off of a scheme that my cousin used to run in super late models. It's really great looking. I just I forgot it was throwback week, and then I loaded in. It was too late. So.
You should run it next week.
I'll think about it. It's got some sponsors on there that I'm not really associated with anymore, but
fair enough.
It's a great looking car and good memories with it. So
absolutely. All right. Well, congratulations to you on the podium, Andrew Wisdom, with that win. Pete, Darlington, what a show these guys put on tonight. Next week, it's going to be another great race. I can't wait to do it.
Yeah, the Queen City on tap for next week's Charlotte Motor Speedway, where everybody calls home. Who are we going to be calling home for yet another checkered flag, Eliza? It's just a matter of laps away, but another great race in the books tonight.
See you guys next week, same time, same day, Monday at 8:17 p.m. Eastern Time. We hope you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know the drivers appreciate it, and so do we. You guys have a great night.